Hare Hare Krishna. Please excuse me for being late, but it was decided yesterday, and actually we have so many things to do. So I'm very sorry. But by the next month, maybe we will arrange some program, because I'm coming every month, and I was telling Rangadevi, I like to give cooking classes. Srila Prabhupada was asking me, you have to teach everyone how to cook, how I show you. So you will see with Rangadevi. Maybe we start to make a program that I come every month, so that it could be 2 or 3 times teaching of cooking, where you will cook, not just that I cook and you look. So that would be very nice. I'm doing that many places in France now, and everyone is very happy to learn and to see how Prabhupada was cooking and make it so easy and like that. So if you are interested, you see with her. So Srila Prabhupada, if we chant Hare Krishna, if you hear the Mahamantra anywhere, is because Srila Prabhupada bring it to the Western world. Nobody did it before. So he's a very, very most important spiritual master for the whole world today, because he brings the Mahamantra everywhere when it had never been. Even in the 70s, when I was in Amsterdam, we was hearing everybody was chanting Hare Krishna everywhere. There was some theater called Hare, they chant Hare Krishna. It was a big fashion. Musicians, they register Hare Krishna. But Prabhupada, we have not seen him yet. He had not come yet to Europe. But because he had come to America, and the biggest musicians, singers, they pick up the Mahamantra, and he became a big, not a fashion actually, everyone liked to chant. So, and it is, as you know certainly, that the only, if we are serious and if we understand this Krishna consciousness, is no other way to go back home, back to Godhead. So, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is the only one who brings this absolute knowledge, absolute truth. So there is no need of practicing any other type of yoga or methods of this and that. He made a very shortcut for us. And so I always say this story that Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan was very sick, and Brahmananda Swami was there, and Sora, and Srila Prabhupada called me in. I was sitting next to his window door, and I was feeling so helpless because I could not help him. And Srila Prabhupada, although his advanced age, he would never show anything about this age. We had no age for us. You know, when you are young, old people, actually you don't understand that they have a certain age, they may have pain in the body, or this. So Srila Prabhupada, transcendental person, so we could not think that he will live one day, he's going to get sick. Actually, yeah, it's like this. So sometimes we don't understand that the big endeavor that do the great devotees who come from the spiritual world, they not take birth like we are doing, just to save us and to bring us back home, back to Godhead. Not just to sit and have some pleasure in meditation, empty the mind, or you will help this, that. Prabhupada said you don't have to do any of these things. Simply chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So it seems to be very simple, but it is very, very deep. So that day, Srila Prabhupada, been in Vrindavan, and he had very much pain in his head. And we could hear, he was going, and pressing his head. Then he called me in with my little daughter, so that I could hear. And you see, I could remember and say it to you. So Prabhupada said to Saurabh, he took him by his shirt, he pulled him. So what I want you to notice is that although Srila Prabhupada was in great pain, still he was preaching. You see, because the most important thing for him that everyone, no one take birth again in this material world. So he said, Saurabh, I have put everything in my books for you to go back home, back to Godhead. In this lifetime, I made it very simple for you. Simply read my books. I made a transcendental plot for you. So every time come a person to deliver fallen souls or to make them progress in spiritual life, they make a program. And if you stick to that program and not being distracted for other program, get concentrated and do this program, then you get what the prophet or spiritual master have come to give. There were so many prophets coming, like the Prophet Muhammad, Lord Jesus, and so many came who are real ones. Because one who cannot bring you back from where to back home, back to Godhead, and stop birth, death, disease, old age, is no use. You know, it's no use. You can also go to the, I don't know, to swim, to do, it's not that who is going to bring you back home, back to Godhead. So all these kind of things today of new age, that they tell you, you breathe like this, you stand like that, you chant this, you know, you will feel better, but that's not the goal. The goal is to have the real thing of this age. Every age, there is a program given by the Lord to give us the chance as human beings to not take birth again. So Srila Prabhupada is given so much. Lord Jesus said, I cannot tell you everything yet. I will tell you later. You know? So Prabhupada explained that the good Christian, those who are very good believers of the words, of the teaching of Lord Jesus, actually they will go to a place. There is a place where they will go, and he will teach them what he will teach them is this Maha Mantra. Prabhupada said, he will give them the Maha Mantra. Because in this age, we cannot go for good back home, back to the Hare, if we don't chant the Maha Mantra. This is the program. So, and it is so incredible that Srila Prabhupada in London, I was in London and he gave a class, he was giving a class. And then at one moment he told us, we was going in Harinam every day. And Srila Prabhupada said, when you go in Harinam and people see you passing through, chanting the Maha Mantra, he said, these people, they are making as much advancement, spiritual advancement, as you do. So I thought, what is this? Because it was very difficult to do Harinam in the winter, in Amsterdam. And we had no good clothes, nothing. It was very freezing cold, and we go hours, forth and back, chanting. In that Calverstraat, there was not so many shops at that time, and everywhere. So it was freezing cold. After like 2 hours, we just wanted to go back, but we continued, And there was Prabhupada saying, these people who are just seeing you chanting, they are making the same spiritual advancement as you do. So for 1 minute I was thinking, wow, I should have stayed just there and seeing the devotees passing through. It would have been not so cold and so difficult, But then I correct myself and I thought, but actually, yes, Srila Prabhupada is not from this world. Because nobody is giving you something free in this world. Somehow or other, you always have to do something to get something, But there are people who are sinners doing the walk, chanting the Maha Mantra in the street, in the cold. They are just looking at us and they are getting the same salary, I'm going to say, that they make the same spiritual advancement. So, yes, this is totally serious and very different thing. So my spiritual master, actually, that was the very beginning. And my spiritual master, it's definitely coming from another place where you don't have to walk to get the mercy, to get something, So, and so this Hare Krishna movement is so compassionate and so easy. Prabhupada made it so easy. So he said that most important thing is to get attached to Krishna. How we get attached to Krishna is Prabhupada made a movement for all, so that more is better. Not that we go alone in a room and just do ourselves. We have to come as much as possible in association with devotees. And we don't think, but this devotee, is he advanced, he is not advanced. No. It's not like this. When it comes to chanting the Maha Mantra, we are all equal. We all come to please the soul. So the worldly things stop there. And more we are to chant, Prabhupada said, more we get strong. It's very, very important. all yoga they teach to be alone, to meditate, to look at the nose. Those things are there. I am not denying. But they are not of this age. They are not the process to go back home, back to God. So Prabhupada, one time he arrived in Vrindavan and he was asking for a devotee. Where is he? So the president said, oh, Prabhupada, he went to another temple he takes some other service. So Prabhupada was annoyed, and he took the time to teach us. He said, my disciples, they are very easily detached to leave their family and join, and very easily detached like this. But the thing is that the problem is that they don't get attached to Krishna. Then Prabhupada said, so Krishna gives you a service, and Krishna immediately look that you are nicely situated in your service. Then Krishna turns his back and goes to do something else. So you see how close Prabhupada bring Krishna to us. Krishna look at us in the service. Then he sees we are doing okay. Then he turns his back and he goes to do something else. Just like you and me. It's so close. That's Prabhupada's mercy. That wherever is Prabhupada, wherever we glorify Prabhupada, Krishna is there immediately. I'm sure Krishna is very happy to hear, not me. But it happened that I'm here to do it. But Prabhupada being glorified because Prabhupada did so much. That he came late without money or anything. And Srila Prabhupada then said, we go back to Vrindavan. Then Prabhupada said, then Krishna comes back. Then he don't find you. You have gone to do something else, some other service. Then he searches you. Then Prabhupada said, in that way, you disturb Krishna very much. Because Krishna believes in us. Immediately we want to do an effort to try to renew our relationship with him and to offer some service. Krishna is deeply touched. So he is ready to help us so much to do our service. And Prabhupada said, so you disturb, that's Prabhupada who said, you disturb Krishna like this. Because Prabhupada is so close to Krishna. He doesn't like Krishna to come for nothing, And Krishna, same for Prabhupada. They don't leave each other, never. They are always together. So then Prabhupada said, and if you had been there when Krishna come and see about your service, if you had been there, then Krishna may have glanced at you, a glance of God. If you was lucky. So it's so many teaching is that Krishna does whatever he wants. So a glance of Krishna is very special. So although he may come and see we are doing the service. He may also give a glance, a special glance. So when we are doing devotional service like Krishna, we don't know. We are cooking, we are preaching, maybe Krishna is there giving a glance at us. So then we get so much purification. And Prabhupada was saying also that actually it's yogis, they get quite easily some rewards, something with their austerity, even if it seems to us impossible to stand on one foot for, I don't know, many thousands of years. Now they think that they stand on one foot for 5 minutes and they get something great. Breathing, something, you know. We cannot in Kali Yuga. We don't have the body, the mind like this. We can get a little relaxed, you know. Just like, yeah. So, but Prabhupada said, but Bhakti Yoga, then Krishna, why we are so much tested by Maya, you know, that we are not, how do you say, diverted, that we think about Krishna, but we don't get into the service. We don't abandon ourselves. Maya is always testing, illusion. Prabhupada said, because when Krishna gave himself to you, he never withdraw. Never. It's a big engagement. So Maya is there actually to see that we're not going to deceive Krishna. Because once he gives himself, it's forever. It's like the spiritual master. Once he gives himself and he takes you, it's finished, it's forever. Actually, Gangadhar, he did something, where is it? I hope you don't close it. I wanted to read one. Yeah, you read it. He made something incredible for me. Not only for me, for you, actually. So, that is very difficult. He writes it all with his hands, and he's always engaged. He writes so many things on books, you know, from Prabhupada, and then he had to type it, and then he did this nice thing. So, and it's very nice. Actually, maybe he could make some for those who like to, you know, if you give him the cost of all this, you know. So, and he took so many sentences from Prabhupada. And some here is on humility of Srila Prabhupada. You know, it's so incredible. Do you like to read one that you prefer? I was thinking this, but okay. So you will see how my spiritual master is so humble and so loving to his disciple and to his grand disciple and to whoever want to become and to whoever serve a little bit even.
This is what Srila Prabhupada wrote in a letter to...
Can you speak loudly?
Srila Prabhupada wrote this in a letter to Brahmananda Prabhu on the 10th of March in 1969. From my personal point of view, I think...
You can hear? Yeah. Come closer.
No? I can hear.
Okay.
From my personal point of view, I think that I am so sinful that I cannot even approach Krishna to show me any favor. But I have only one hope, my spiritual master. He is very kind. So some way or other, he is dragging me toward Krishna. That is the only hope. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita says therefore, Guru Krishna, By the mercy of the spiritual master and by the mercy of Krishna, one gets into Krishna consciousness. Narada Muni is our original spiritual master, and he has dragged so many fallen souls towards Krishna, and we are also hoping to be dragged by him through the disciplic succession. Otherwise, if we study our own qualification, there is none. Rather, I have got so many disqualifications.
So you see, the pure devotee of Krishna, he never thinks himself, I am a pure devotee. He always feels that I have no hope. And Srila Prabhupada spoke there so many times that everything is because of you. So pure devotee, so the thing is that we should never think that I am better than this one or that one, in whatever condition. Yesterday I went to see one of my godbrothers. So his body is very degraded. And he was having a life of weakness. He was very attached to drugs and to things like that. Now, maybe they will cut one leg of him, and so many things. So I went to see him. He was in Amsterdam before, at the time of when Prabhupada came. He met Prabhupada. But he was a very young man, musician, very fond of success with beautiful ladies, and he had a lot of success. And there he is. I came to see him, very down with his body, I could not believe it, But then, all the time we was talking about Srila Prabhupada. You see? So we can never judge devotees, whatever they do. Sometimes they may have some fall down, sometimes they may be stronger, sometimes not. But actually, Krishna never leaves his devotee, whatever condition he is. Srila Prabhupada in another place here, he said also, I love my boys and girls and I will never leave you. You know that sentence there? No? In humility. So what we, Prabhupada disciples, feel, what I feel personally, it is there. And you can also feel it if you serve this Mahaprabhu's mission and you pray to Krishna, because Prabhupada is here in separation, so you have to find him in separation. I'm also in separation, like you. So you have to ask Krishna, please help me to appreciate what Srila Prabhupada have done. Please let me have a glimpse of his mercy, that I can go back home, back to Godhead. Nobody else in this world can give that to you. That this, of course, there are spiritual masters today also, in that line. But you have to appreciate. You have to appreciate Srila Prabhupada. And ISKCON not different than Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes there will be disturbance in ISKCON. Prabhupada told me himself. He came near me and he just started to say, Kishori, never jump out this boat. Whatever happens, even if it is very, how do you say, rocky. Never jump, because it is worse out there. So this transcendental boat of ISKCON. It is transcendental. It comes, it's born out of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. So sometimes there will be some disturbance. Nothing can escape disturbance in this material world. But all the knowledge, and that is the big treasure, is there about Krishna, about the goal of life, about everything. All the tools are there to go back home, back to Godhead. So whatever, we have to keep together, get strong, pick up the weak devotees, we're very sick, service to devotees, service to the Vishnu. That's what Krishna liked the most. He said, what he liked the most is that more than to be served himself, he said, even on the altar, deities, more than to be served himself. He liked to see that we serve devotees. Prabhupada was telling us one time, if you are doing arti and someone is coming in the temple, you stop the arti and you go to welcome the guest. You see? So we have to look after each other. Every time you see someone that Krishna sent here, whoever it is, older devotee, who are doing maybe some other things because he's a bit weak, immediately you welcome him. You are so happy to see him. Please take some prasadam. Any guest who come here, Krishna, Prabhupada said, Krishna is sending to the temple. Whoever come to temple, it's like Vrindavan. We think we can just go like this. No, we cannot just go to Vrindavan like this. So now many go to Vrindavan because Krishna opened the door and Krishna sent you to go to Vrindavan. If he doesn't, we cannot enter Vrindavan heaven. So this is a time of great mercy. So Krishna's devotees have to be the most merciful. That we were so much engaged in preaching. That was all the mood with Srila Prabhupada. Every time he comes, where is he? Where is that one? Where is he? And go and get him. Okay, he's a rascal, but I love him. Go and get him. So there was no chance to escape Srila Prabhupada. You have an example here? With Kirtananda, maybe. On humility. Anyways, you see. That when he said that you are my disciple, so you can never escape from me. You find it?
Yeah. Srila Prabhupada wrote in a letter to Rai Ram on the 2nd of November in 1967.
Can you speak louder?
Regarding Kirtananda, I cannot allow him to become Keith again. He is my spiritual son, and I shall never allow him to fall down. When I return, I shall drag him forcibly and make him alright again. Anyone who has once comes to me has become my beloved son. Temporarily, one may display some Mayic affliction, but that cannot prolong.
So this is very deep, actually. So temporarily maybe one day, maybe many years. So Srila Prabhupada doesn't want that we fall down. But actually he said there, I will never allow to escape me. You see? So we are in the right place. We are so safe, that whatever Srila Prabhupada would bring us back home, back to Godhead. So, even whatever happened. So, Srila Prabhupada was very in an intimate service, when you come in home with him and you have to do all intimate little service for, washing his clothes, cooking for him, he speak with you, you are there with his friend, and with basses, and then he will not be in the same mood that he is on the Vyasasana when he's speaking, about what we should do, what we should not do, giving all this example and speaking of the absolute truth. But when he come to, so he would be, so his character, I tell you these intimate things because one should, there is different mood with Krishna, with God. Some see like the father, some see him like the master, some, but there is also very sweet mood. And actually our spiritual master is in a very sweet mood with Krishna. So that's why when we came to serve him very intimately, we could enjoy this very sweet mood, his very sweet character. He was extremely teasing person, making always jokes, and very sharp. Nobody could catch on him. Not even in the morning walk when we walked with him. He was young, but he was always, like you see him on pictures, and he was always. So whenever somebody says something which was a bit nonsense, Prabhupada would catch so quick, Like, I think I said it last time. Like, many people think they are God, when they start to do some yoga, this and that. Then some people will teach that actually, ultimately, you are God. We are all God. So Prabhupada said to us one day in Vrindavan, he said, so actually, if you meet someone who tell you, I am God, so, and with a big smile, Prabhupada says, so, you punch him immediately in the nose. And you see, and you say, and me, I am the kicking God. So, of course, like this. So Srila Prabhupada, if you have any question, I can say stories, but if you have any question to ask, it's nice also. Something that you want to know about him.
I have a question.
But come, because I'm deaf.
Yeah, okay, I have a question. Did he ever become angry?
So you will tell it to me.
Did Srila Prabhupada ever become angry?
Transcendental anger.
And how did this?
Did Krishna become ever angry?
I think
Remember, when he kills the demons and transcendental, because the pure devotee is not, he did not come here in the same way that we came. When Krishna manifested us, we turn our face away from him. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote everything. So we turned our face from him, and we immediately got the idea that we can be also big enjoyers, because we have a freedom. We have a 1 minute independent minute called of freedom. So we choose that. But the pure devotee, Prabhupada said, I did not want to come He told us in Vrindavan. I did not want to come, but Krishna pushed me. He forced me to come. I did not want to take sannyas. I was thinking it was horrible. I never thought of going to the West at the age of 17, but somehow, abandoned to Krishna. And one beautiful thing, incredible thing, is the prayer that he wrote, that at that time, when we joined, there was a wave of yogis and swamis come, because you see, before I came to the movement, I went to India to look for a spiritual master. So, but my spiritual master had already come to the West. So, many, before EPs, before the EPs, started to, young people like me, for example, that we went to India. Then we bring back so many things from India. Some good things, some bad things, Those how started the EP movement. All come from India, actually. And then started to come many so-called yogis or swamis. And they was totally different than Srila Prabhupada. They came with long hair. Hippies get the idea of long hair from India, from the sadhus of India, So many, I don't know if you have gone to India, but there is so many places you see always with dreadlocks or long hair, and so many strange things, So we all got attracted to that. And there are many sadhus, but mostly with marijuana, to be able to control their senses and meditate. So we didn't know anything. And some of them doesn't smoke and like this, but they preach always mostly that we are all God at the end, and personalities. So they came to America first, and it was very attractive. They chant even, they could chant Krishna so they came, long dresses, long hair, we all wanted to be like him. And here Srila Prabhupada came, with a cane, shaved head, no hair, which was totally obnoxious for us. The thing we really dislike, And a coat, and he walked like this, and shoes, and but also strange, with an orange dress, and that little bag, But still. So one time he was invited to a big meeting with all these swamis, and he was telling always, when he was traveling, never I was so much ashamed to be between them, because they were such liars and cheaters. He said, I felt so ashamed. But he attracted so many of us. And we all was breaking the rules of our families. Father, mother, at that time there was rules, We had father, mother, we would say, you get married, there was no divorce practically, not in Europe, very rarely, and so many things like this. So we break all these rules, and here's Srila Prabhupada coming. And we go so attracted. So not by his long hair, he had none, not by his youth and beautiful, more than that. We got directly attracted from the soul. it was impossible to resist. Impossible. And Srila Prabhupada was such a great bhakti yogi that he entered our heart. And he was rising and rising and rising. And we did not realize which adventure we was getting in. How serious it was, this Krishna consciousness. You know, simply chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And a lot of prasadam. And dancing in the street. Of course, it was more easy in Los Angeles or than in Amsterdam, where it was cold. But so we did not realize at all that 45 years later, we will still be there. We have no plan really. We did not even understand when we got initiated, you know. So that is the love strength. We all get catched by love. So why we should not be catched also by love today? This is the Hare Krishna movement. Love and trust given by Srila Prabhupada. Generosity. It started with the prasadam. Prasadam is so important to distribute prasadam. Very, very important. Because it touches everyone. When you give prasadam, people cannot believe it. You know. Okay, today there is necessity. So I think in Amsterdam there must be some people giving free food. No? Not the devotees, but other people. They must be distribute food for the needy people.
There is some.
Huh? There is some.
Salvation Army.
Yeah, there is some. It is in a temple like this is very incredible, you know. So like one time we with this there was one cook of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. He happened to come with us because no God brothers helped Srila Prabhupada, you know. Now they claim, but they was not helping. Even Prabhupada was saying to us, don't get depressed. I get depressed by my God brothers. So we have to be extremely respectful. And we have to see that the effort that the disciple may make today to come, preach, all that, doesn't mean that we have to be disrespectful anyway. Is the Prabhupada said, all my God brothers come from Vaikuntha. He said, they are from Vaikuntha. And you cannot, how do you say, criticize them. Because no one can criticize the God brother of the spiritual master. So, one time, so this small looking Babaji, Ananda Baba, he came to us in Vrindavan and he was cooking for everyone. So then it was very difficult for me to cook with him because he didn't want association with women. They're very strict, you know. So I did not understand anything. Why is this devotee? When I come to him, he always goes like this. Mother, go, mother. I was new. You know, we will not understand any of these things. Prabhupada told us, there is so many rules. I give you only a few rules. If I was giving you all the rules, you would faint immediately. So he made something for it. And we only need to know that, actually. We don't need to go to look for more rules and more rules and more. If we stick to the rules that Prabhupada gave, and how to, he told Yamuna one day, he said, because Yamuna, she went to Radharaman, and she was very eager to, it was in a very nice, good mood, of her. She said, when Krishna Balaram are installed, and all devotees will come from over the world. So she did not ask to Prabhupada or anything. She went by herself to Radharaman temple. She saw the Radharaman Goswami, I don't remember his name, Vishwambara, maybe. And then she decided, she wrote to all the devotees in the world, and she said to them, when you will come, Vishwambara Goswami Maharaj, he will be there, and he will be giving Gopal mantra to you. So, to worship the deities better. So Prabhupada come to Vrindavan, and then I was there cleaning the floor for him, and then he was calling Yamuna, and he was angry. He said, what is this? Vishwambara giving Gopal mantra and all this. And Prabhupada said, I gave you everything to worship the deities. You know everything about deity worship. So what he means, I am your guru. Whatever I gave you and I told you, that's all you have to know. No more. To go back home, back to Godhead. It's very important. First this. Then Prabhupada later, so he said to write all the devotees and to cancel. So Yamuna was all, So, of course Prabhupada said, at least you maintain and you do everything I ask you to do. If you can improve, yes, but at least you maintain. And so Srila Prabhupada, he likes very much devotion that we are engaged in service. Very much. He said you chant your rounds in the morning, and after he was asking us 8 hours service minimum. 8 hours. He said, just like the people walk. So now I know they work less. I think my country they do like 35 hours. So we always have been working more than them. And no holiday in service. The service is the holiday. And there was one devotee, his name was Vishal. A kind of funny devotee, very gyani, with the scriptures, always saying verses or that. So when Prabhupada was in Vrindavan coming, he would always, and he was very lazy actually. He never wanted to do work, Oh, I have to check my rounds. Oh, I have to read. Oh, And then every time I was feeling, we used to laugh, and feeling like, wow, because every time Prabhupada finished, we used to go to do the work, morning walk. So every time Prabhupada come out of the temple, first he was going to the temple, offer obeisances, then we go to do the morning walk, and there is Vishal out of the temple, and he's with the Bhagavatam, and he's reading loudly, oh, great soul, oh, and he's saying verses to Prabhupada. And so Prabhupada did not stop anymore. And one morning, Prabhupada said, he stopped, he said, Vishal, you go to get a broom and you sweep the floor of the temple, every morning. So he stopped him. Do you understand? Vishal was going praising and praising, but not to do practical service. So Prabhupada stopped him. Go get a broom and sweep the floor. Well, we always went. Because we knew Vishal, but Prabhupada knew also. Actually, all devotees who have been with Prabhupada will tell you that he knew our mind. He will go through us completely, So still he's doing, because he's very close to us, always watching. And we should never give up hope. In whatever situation we are, there is always hope. So Prabhupada was so loving. We was feeling, we never thought of asking anything in return. It was the opposite. We would beg and beg for service. If we had no service, we would feel so bad. All our life was to serve. And in doing this service, Prabhupada was there. When he would used to leave, because he would come and go, Gangadhar, he wrote all the timing of traveling of Srila Prabhupada and whatever he did, from this day to this day, Vrindavan, you go like, it's unbelievable. He was always moving at his age, always, I come to Amsterdam, only 7 hours of bus, and I feel, I just was walking from the tram here, I was saying, I have pain in my knee. But Srila Prabhupada, 14 times he went through all the world, from 70 to 80, 81, I think. Never complaining. So he was fully transcendental. But at the same time, don't think he was not feeling some pain and like this, Don't think like, I give an example, Lord Jesus was not feeling anything when they put nails on this cross, It's not like this. It's a bit difficult to understand. When they come, they really come. And if we do wrong things, they suffer. It's like this. They take the spiritual master is coming and is removing the karma that makes that you cannot approach God. His face. Because Srila Prabhupada revealed the face, the name, the address, everything of Krishna. In other religions, they don't do. It is always a promise, something. But Prabhupada revealed that's why the deities are there. Deities are very powerful. Very powerful. You can ask them anything, and what is most pleasing to them, if you ask, how can I serve you? Please engage me in your service. And of course, first, never forget first the prayer to the spiritual master, because it's him who is giving Krishna. Impossible to approach God if you don't have a spiritual master. It's like this. So it's very important to, I don't know who is initiate, not initiate, who is exactly. I know some, but not everyone. But it's very important to think of being very serious and take initiation, take spiritual master, come to do some service, help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Then, you see, I mean, Prabhupada used to tell us, but we won't understand really. He used to tell us, you know, all these songs you like, Beatles or that, okay, you like, but you will forget about. And sometimes you will hear again, but not all the time. But the Maha Mantra, you will never forget. And it's true. More and more we are chanting, more and more we like. Huh? Good long time. You can say a bit about chanting the Maha Mantra. And isn't it? Whatever situation. She has 7 children, she went through so much trouble of, you know, the material world and all that. But all this, she can never forget Maha Mantra and Srila Prabhupada. You see, it's nice to see actually devotees who are 40 years, 45 years later. And it's nice for us that you like us, because it's helping us, you know. Because more and more time is going, nearer it is. You have more to surrender, and it's like this. So it's very nice. We have to mix. It's not that Prabhupada disciples have to be all together in one place, and then those who have not been initiated or not no, we have to make a mix. That's what Prabhupada wants. It's like sometimes some who have big position, they not come to sit down, take prasad with devotees or that. So then they lose a bit the contact, and then it's difficult to relate, you know. So it's nice to mix together. And anyway, well, personally, I don't feel at all that there is a difference between one who is initiated by Prabhupada or one who is initiated by his son, you know, his disciple, his grandfather. And grandfather likes more their grandchildren than their own children sometimes. So I cannot feel. It's impossible. It's nothing like this in spiritual life. It's not that one have more than another one. You know, it's not like this. Whatever one have, he feel full. Prabhupada said, this is the transcendental. Whatever, one small glass, Prabhupada said in Vrindavan. I was there in his room. One small glass, one big glass, is no difference in the spiritual world, because it's full. You understand? One small glass is full, one big glass is full, it's the same. It's full. So you know a difference. So Prabhupada was saying, don't try to think, oh, Mother Yasoda, she may be less advanced than Srimati Radharani, and this less, so that devotee is less advanced than this one, or that devotee did. No, every devotee is full, even if you can't see it. Something there is full. So we have to be very careful to not make Vaishnav apparat, you know, like this. Prabhupada likes all his disciples. He wants them in whatever condition they are, whatever they do. It's not up to us to judge and to, when they come, when we meet, we all, like this. I meet some, so if I meet some devotee, and if I ask who is your guru, but he's always to say how he's doing. Is he healthy? You have seen him, you are with him, healthy like this, very nice. I'm not asking who is your guru. Did he fall down? Did he do? No, not like this. And if I see a devotee who have gone to, like other mat or something, then I say, how is your guru? Is he in good health? We have to stay polite and very, this is Vaishnava etiquette. You have to be very careful with each other. Anyway, that's the mood of Prabhupada. All those, myself, I never went anywhere else. Then Prabhupada, I cannot. My guru is unique, But still, well, we have to manage in good relationship. That's Vaishnava. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu trainer, happy submission. We have to give respect to all. That, at that time, that's what we was doing. When Prabhupada was there, and if someone was not doing, Prabhupada would correct immediately. Immediately. He would make us feel, we are all brothers, sisters, and I love you all. So, we actually, in peace, we all was searching for love. And we got it, actually. That was incredible. We got it. So I cannot, I don't want to see that love going. It's love first. That's Prabhupada. In whatever happened. So, if we catch that energy, Prabhupada is there. Immediately. Love and trust. Then Krishna will arrange everything. Okay, you have some question? Actually, I think Kishori was singing, love its all, love its all. Yeah, so, no question? No?
I think we are happy with every story you tell.
What?
So we're happy with every story you tell.
Okay.
I'm going to ask a question.
I will tell you a nice story after. Yeah.
Do you still go to India sometimes? And
I go every time to India. Actually, I'm very lucky. I am very lucky, and I don't appreciate enough, and I don't do enough, take mercy enough. But actually, I am going to India, and I am speaking there, 2,000 sometimes of devotees, incredible devotees. India is so much preaching, so much growing with Krishna consciousness that you cannot imagine. So now I come back from India not so long ago with my partner, Lakshmina Prabhu, and we had done many programs, and we went to South India. It's very traditional, And there is an incredible temple. Okay, it's Chennai, incredible. And there is another one with Tirupati. So Tirupati, in Tirupati there is a deity, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, and he went to see the deities of Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, and then he went to see Balaji on the mountain, Vishnu, lying there. And there is a long story of that. And there is also Sam Balaji at the feet of the mountain. Because there was a... Anyway, it's another story. So, you know, he came, Lord Vishnu came, Narayan came with us. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so millions of people go to see this Balaji deity, which is there from Kalpas. So Prabhupada, so they make a lot of money in this temple, and they deviate in the sense that they make business with the Indian are great believers of Krishna, you know, great believers. Prabhupada said, Indians, even if sometimes they are doing mischiefs or whatever, you go, you scratch a little, then you will find Krishna immediately, he told us. So, many people from rich to the poorest, coming from villages, they make vow, you know. So they come to Balaji and they ask for something, like the child is very sick or so many vows, you know. It's better to ask to God than to ask a loan to the bank, you know. Much better. So we have not been trained in that way, but if we have to ask something, we may ask. So then they come back and they shave their head, you know, like how do you call sacrifice. So in Tirupati, you see so many people shave head, ladies, so children. But Indians, they are known in the whole world that they have the best hair, quality of hair. So unfortunately, all the priests, the Brahmana family, who belong to this deity, they make business with the hair of these people. But these people, yeah, crores of rupees. And before they used to do also television business and all that. Prabhupada was telling us. So he said to us, now I want you to make a temple. Because they have the money. At that time we was very poor in India. Because they have got all the money, but we have got all the knowledge. So Revatinanda, he took it to heart. He's an Indian devotee. Grihastha, he's married, they have children. Such a great devotee. His face is like a sun. And 2:45 in the temple. And he chant with the devotees every morning, do all the program. And he told us. So he invited us. So I can speak about Srila Prabhupada there. Only brahmacharis, Indian brahmacharis, unbelievable, you know. And old Vaishnavas. And I was so much mercy that I could speak about many stories about Srila Prabhupada there. And he said to us that actually 70% of the money who came to build this beautiful temple that he made come from Sankirtan and selling books. So you see. So in ISKCON is great devotees. and so strict there. So I go to India, and I move and I preach I just repeat what Prabhupada was telling me, and so many things. And my talking is very much appreciated because the stories are very a bit different, like this. So I tell you a very secret story. It's very secret, but it's nice tonight here. Huh? So, yeah. So, just, it's very secret because it's very special, unique. I will show you some mystical power of Srila Prabhupada. Many of my God brothers had some experience like this. Not that one, but different experience. So actually one morning, we was coming back from work, and actually it was a very nice morning work, because we was walking, and then there was donkeys coming along the side, you know. We are walking in the middle of the road, because at that time in Vrindavan, near Krishna Balaram Mandir, there was no cars, no rickshaw, nothing. So all the road was for us, you know. So we was walking, and donkeys was coming with big, you know, little donkey, and a huge amount of, it was Dobby, I think, I don't know what. But anyway, it was very heavy load on the donkey. Poor little donkey like this, and a load, you know, like this. The donkey is there. I don't know, you've not been to India, but on him is big, like this. So donkeys was coming like this. And then I was just behind Srila Prabhupada, but behind, you know, but very close. And so Prabhupada was there, and devotees was on lines, you know, walking. And the donkey come, and one devotee get hurt by the donkey, how do you say? Load. So he went like this. And I laughed so much. And Prabhupada was looking at me. I laughed so much, but while I was laughing, the second devotee come and I fly in the air, you know. So Prabhupada started to laugh so much. Also, you understand, I was laughing because the devotee get pushed away by the donkey, but then the other donkey come and I went completely. And then Srila Prabhupada stopped and was laughing. So, then we come back, and Prabhupada called me. He was sitting on the terrace of his house. No, just near the terrace, but you don't know the place. So. Anyway, it was a small little room. And Prabhupada had received some vegetable that a resident of Vrindavan got from the trees. There is some long string beans, let's say, but it's not string beans. But something looking like this, for me who didn't know. I was thinking, what is this? It's hanging from those trees. So he called me. He said, Kishori, do you know how to cook this? Do you know this? And I said, no, I don't know. Because in the past, when Prabhupada was asking me, do you know this, how to cook it? I would say yes. And then he would tell me, okay, do it. And I would not know how to do it. So there is, you know, you heard the story. So that morning, I said, no, Srila Prabhupada, I don't know. So then the atmosphere became, sometimes you feel something very sweet in Krishna consciousness. When we chant Hare Krishna, when we have nice kirtan, we feel bliss. So Prabhupada was sitting on the floor, that was little table like this. Prabhupada was a person who liked very simple living and high thinking, he used to say. So his house was very simple. And so he was like this, and he started to show me how to cut that vegetable. And I don't know, he was cutting and looking at me and smiling, and I become under charm. And he was cutting it and putting it up and down, and I was totally, it was nothing special to cut one string bean, but it became like something unbelievable. And then he catch my eyes and he started to burst in laugh. And then he catch me. I burst in laugh too. And actually he took me out of my body, and his soul, my soul went with his soul, like something incredible, like he embraced me, and I was out of my body completely, and so much love, and my body was feeling like like fizzy, something very strange, but everything was very short. And but then I thought, oh, my spiritual master. So that was finished immediately. It's a bit like the stories, of the gopis. Krishna was playing the flute. So some gopis, they left everything. The milk was coming out, the children was crying, but they left. But there was some gopis, they could not leave. They thought, oh, I cannot. So then they stayed, but still, Krishna, they could enjoy everything, with Krishna. But still they could not run like the others. So one moment I was taken by Srila Prabhupada like this. One moment I said, oh, my guru. And I left his eyes and everything, So they want so many experience, everybody. So if you want something about love, real love, you surrender to Srila Prabhupada deeply in your heart, and he will open everything for you. So then, Srila Prabhupada told me, so, you go and cook it for me, you put it in the dal, like nothing happened. So I never talk about it for so many years, because that was too special, And then I started to hear, when Prabhupada had left his body, I started, because they collected so many things from Prabhupada. So then I started to hear, oh, this one had this story with him, very strange, and that one, and that one, that one. But actually it's nothing strange, because Srila Prabhupada is not from this world. He is a piece of the higher energy of Krishna, that means Vaikuntha, Krishna Loka, where there is no fear, there is no there is only bliss. There is only, how do you say? Wait, I lose my words now. Anyway, it's
Ananda.
only bliss. Yeah, you
Ananda.
Ananda. Eternal bliss. There is no fear. There is no nothing. Only bliss. So Srila Prabhupada that day, he revealed. So I can never forget. Is one thing. I have no qualification at all, from nothing. I'm the lowest of mankind. But I have faith in my Guru. That's the only reason why I'm here after so many years. That I have faith in my Guru, that he can bring me back home, back to Godhead. And when I tell you these things, it's true and is what I got from him. And he said, you have to share everything I gave you. So I was not understanding before, but I was pushed by one devotee. And then one day I started to speak a little bit about, and devotees liked it very much, and now it's like this. So, but only qualification is coming from the repeating or witnessing what is the pure devotee that we are, because he's the one who made this Krishna conscious movement, So that will never be another way. How many gurus, they're great, and they all will say, please surrender to Srila Prabhupada. Of course, you cannot go over the head of you have to go through your spiritual master to go to Prabhupada. But Prabhupada made himself so accessible, how do you say? Accessible to everyone, It's very special, very unique. So, Prabhupada loves little children. He loves his female disciples so much. And in India, women have no rights for spiritual rituals and all that. So Prabhupada made him. He made me cook for all the deities of Krishna Balaram Mandir. It never happened before, I think, in history. Now I'm realizing. Because even now, they want to do better than Prabhupada. They don't let women to cook. But when I went to Tirupati, that nice president, he said, please come and you will speak for 7 days and you will cook for Krishna, Radha and Krishna. So then I will try to, now I want to tell all, when I go to temple, that please let the ladies cook and do all service for Krishna, like Prabhupada did. You don't see any difference. We should not be afraid, even in India, because he did it in Vrindavan, where they are the most archaic. So he did it. And so, because this is Krishna consciousness, that no devotee, that Lord Chaitanya doesn't love one devotee more than another one, and like that, and don't see body condition, etc. So we are very lucky. Is the greatest evenemential of this world is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, of this whole world. You will never find an evenemential better than that. Nothing. Nothing. He opened, all. We are living a very special, unique time. You have to understand. It's very unique. Now we are a few, but for 10,000 years, and after, no more. Prabhupada was saying that don't go to heaven, heavenly planets, because when you will come back, because all people, all demigods, all that, from heavenly planet, they have to come back to Earth, always. So, he said, but Prabhupada said, because when you will come back, there will no be ISKCON anymore. Because the time is different. Because he was saying that many of my disciples, maybe they will go to heavenly planet. He said, don't do that. Because time there, I don't know how you can explain. The time there is so, one day is like so many years from here. So when you will come back, there will be no more devotees here. So we are not allowed to go even to higher planets. There will not be Krishna consciousness anymore. There's one life in heavenly planet. Because the time is different. You understand? The time you will be there, one life, 465,000 years would have been gone. And then Prabhupada said, when you will come back here, they will want to eat you up. So bad is Kali Yuga. So bad. Okay, maybe it's later now. Huh?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.